A sacred space where a dialogue with the ancestors is initiated. But first, Thabiso Siswana must inform them about our presence. Permission granted, and she tells us her story, which starts at a tender age.
I was always being the child that sees everything. So when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with news that they said this and that, whatever messages that I have to pass through. And most things I would see on behalf of my mother.
And when the calling came, she had to answer it.
My question was, I've had problems with this since I was 3 until 14. Most of the things that I remember, I've had it then. Why did it have to happen now? Why is it now? And only to realize that at the end of the day, this knowledge, this richness of our culture, our tradition has to carry on at a certain point. So it means if anything were to happen to my mother, someone has to continue.
Siswana was the chosen one.
Maageketla was my mother.
Initiated in 2012, she graduated a year later. She has 3 ancestors from her mother's family.
So within me, the dominant one is Umavis, hence I'm called Gok Mavis since Siswana. So I'm just Umavis, so she's the dominant one.
If she's not performing rituals, she honors invitations to ceremonies. Reaching out to the higher powers.
We are calling the ancestors closer. We are calling all the guardians, all that walk this earth today to come closer to this gathering and witness, this child's growth, witness this child's ceremony.
And there is a meaning behind the rhythmic dance.
Called Gita Siakaya. We are stamping on whatever illness, whatever sickness, whatever noise, whatever distraught, whatever that's happening on this time or in this place that you are in.
Celebrating a rare gift that keeps giving. But for Gogo Mavis, there is a twist.
My dad was a priest and my mom is Sangoma.
A rare spiritual inheritance. She's a Sangoma and a Christian.
I was baptized in the Methodist church.
It's a journey for which she has been damned.
Everyone will be like, oh no, that is like witchcraft, of which the main one is that we praise demons, or we praise amadlozi more than God, or it's demonic, and it's all those stereotypes.
But she believes they can coexist.
Christianity becomes a ground because that's what makes us genuine healers. We still have fear. We have fear of uNkulunkulu because we are guided by faith. And we are guided by fate of how things come together and how things were to be.
On the east of Johannesburg, her peers in traditional attire and church regalia.
I'm a proud young traditional healer, and I'm a proud Christian. Everything that we do, we start by talking to God. Seeking His guidance is what we do first.
Let's not mislead people. Let's just do, if you believe that I don't want to go to the Sangoma, let me not try to change you.
On the streets, opinions are divided.
Being a Christian at the Sangoma at the very same time, it's not acceptable because God doesn't work with traditions. God doesn't work with muti or something.
Yeah, but we're living in that age. So yeah.
I think Christianity is clear when it comes to people consulting Isangoma. These two does not mix.
The Traditional Healers Organization begs to differ.
When it comes to tradition, you acknowledge your ancestors that they are there because they take the message from you to God. God does the same protocol, bringing them back, making that dialogue overnight. When you see your vision, that's the dialogue of of God. That's the dialogue of your ancestors. You are now in a bridge where you must cross this bridge. But the only way to cross this particular bridge, you have to have an understanding of God will send your ancestors to come and give you the message so that you can heal the nation.
With Christianity, you talk to your God directly, you pray to him directly. With African spirituality, the ancestors are not actually worshipped, but are seen as the mediators, like the middleman between us and God. So that's the role of ancestors, to Africans. So it is possible to have a Sangoma who is a Christian. At the end of the day, the Sangoma prays to the same God. Her calling is to heal people. It may not be through the church, but it's through, this African spirituality she has received from her ancestors.
Deeply spiritual, Gogo Mavis has transcended the discrimination and stereotyping.
We have a lot of undoing to do.
Ancestral worship and religion, a powerful tool for healing. Maageketla Mohlabe, SABC News, Soweto.